She never respected you. You felt it long before you understood it, not in her words, but in the silence between them, not in her actions, but in the hesitation behind them, not in the fights, but in the way she looked at you afterward, as if something in her eyes had already left. You felt it, you ignored it, and it broke you in ways you still don't talk about. Machiavelli wrote, "He who is not feared is despised." He wasn't speaking about violence. He was speaking about value, about presence, about the cold biological truth that governs human nature. No one respects what they do not feel compelled to respect. Respect is not earned over time. Respect is not earned by being nice. Respect is not earned by loving harder. Respect is earned through strength, clarity, and self-control. But you weren't taught that. You were taught to be gentle, to be understanding, to be endlessly patient, to be agreeable, to be a good man. Yet the painful truth is this: a woman does not lose respect for a man because he is too kind. She loses respect because he becomes too predictable, too soft, too available, too weak. Not weak in muscles, weak in boundaries, weak in identity, weak in standards, weak in the places that truly matter. And here is the dark part you never admitted. She didn't leave when she stopped loving you. She left when she stopped respecting you. Because once respect collapses, love becomes irrelevant. The truth is brutal, but necessary. Respect is oxygen in a relationship. Without it, everything suffocates. This video is not about blaming her. It's about exposing the behaviors, the blind spots, the psychology, the things you ignored because you didn't want to face what they meant. This is about awakening a man from the illusions that broke him. Because every man who has been broken by a relationship will eventually hear a voice inside him say, "Where did I lose myself?" Today, we answer that. Today, we uncover the 7 signs she never truly respected you, and why Machiavelli's philosophy predicted every single one of them. This won't be comfortable. It shouldn't be. Growth never is. But if you learn these truths now, you will never experience that same pain again. You will walk differently, speak differently, choose differently. And most importantly, you will never be the man who loses respect without realizing it. Respect never disappears suddenly. It fades, subtly, quietly, long before anything dramatic happens. And the very first sign, the one most men ignore, is her tone. Not the words, not the arguments, not the conversations, just the tone. The lightness disappears, the warmth drops. Her voice becomes colder, shorter, sharper, not angry, not emotional, just indifferent. This is the most dangerous tone a woman can have with a man, because anger means she still cares. Frustration means she still hopes. Emotional reactions mean she's still invested. But indifference means she no longer sees you as someone worth reacting to. Machiavelli said, "Hatred is earned, contempt is given." When a woman loses respect, she gives you contempt through tone, long before she gives you distance through actions. Listen closely, and you will hear it. She sighs before answering. She replies without looking at you. Her voice flattens when you speak. Her enthusiasm disappears. She speaks to you like a background notification, not a man. And here is the brutal truth. Women speak gently to men they respect. They speak neutrally to men they tolerate. They speak carelessly to men they no longer value. When she begins using a tone she wouldn't use with a stranger, you have already lost something far more important than love. You have lost status in her eyes. Most men miss this because they do what kills respect even faster. They try to fix the tone. They ask why she sounds this way. They chase reassurance. They try to lighten the mood. They become more accommodating, more apologetic, more careful. And the more careful you become, the more she subconsciously tests you. Not because she wants to dominate you, not because she wants to disrespect you, but because women test the strength of a man's identity without realizing they are testing it. Here is the dark biological truth. When a woman adjusts her tone down, a man must adjust his standards up. If you respond to disrespect with softness, you teach her that your boundaries are illusions. If you respond to coldness with more warmth, you teach her that she can withdraw without consequence. If you respond to distance by closing the gap for her, you teach her that she never needs to invest again. The respectful response is not anger, not punishment, not revenge. The respectful response is stability, firmness, presence, stillness, not reacting emotionally, not chasing clarity, not begging for validation, just calmly enforcing the one rule every high-value man lives by. Match my energy or enjoy my absence. A man who lives by that principle never loses respect, because he never negotiates the price of his own identity. And once she feels that strength in you again, the tone often changes back on its own. This is sign one. And if you missed it, the next signs will be even harder to ignore. Most men think respect is lost in big moments, arguments, betrayals, dramatic shifts. It's not. Respect dies in small inconsistencies, in silent micro-behaviors that reveal everything. And the second major sign is this: she delays communication with you, but she never delays life without you. When a woman respects you, she replies quickly, she engages naturally, she initiates conversations, she shares her world. But when respect fades, the pattern flips. She becomes slow with you, and fast with everything else. Your messages suddenly need time. Her plans don't. Your conversations get postponed. Her activities don't. Your presence becomes optional. Everything else becomes priority. This is not being busy. This is reorganizing her emotional hierarchy. Machiavelli said, "Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance." In modern terms, people forget relationships long before they forget their priorities. And when you stop being a priority, you stop being respected. Here is what this shift actually means psychologically. You no longer influence her mood. Your presence no longer excites her. Your opinions no longer matter. Your absence no longer feels heavy. Your communication no longer creates emotional movement. This is why the delayed replies hurt you so deeply, because it exposes a truth you are not ready to accept. She is emotionally reorganizing her life, and you are not in the center anymore. But here's the part that destroys men. When the replies slow down, most men speed up. When she withdraws, they chase. When she becomes distant, they double the effort. When she stops prioritizing, they start overinvesting. This creates a psychological split. She gives less, you give more, and both of you feel the imbalance. You feel frustration, she feels pressure, and respect collapses even faster. This dynamic is so ancient that Machiavelli himself warned rulers about it. The more you depend on others, the less they depend on you. Applied to relationships. When you depend on her attention, she depends less on your presence. And the moment a woman realizes a man is seeking reassurance from her, her respect drops instantly. Because biologically, Psychologically, evolutionarily, a man who chases is a man who does not lead. A man who tries to fix her distance is a man who has already lost his own center. So what does a man with respect do when replies slow down? He adjusts. He mirrors. He shifts his energy. He stops over-communicating. He stops over-explaining. He stops proving anything. He gives silence the same weight she gives it. And most importantly, he fills the space she created with his own purpose, not with her absence. Because the man who stays grounded when she pulls away is the man who earns respect, or walks away with his dignity intact. This was sign 2. And the next one is even darker, because it's not about her actions. It's about her eyes. If you want to know whether a woman respects you, you don't listen to her words. You look at her eyes, because eyes do not negotiate. Eyes do not pretend. Eyes do not lie. And here is the third sign, the one you felt long before you had words for it. Her eyes stopped lighting up when she looked at you. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but slowly, quietly, inevitably. You know exactly what I mean. The spark disappeared. The curiosity faded. The softness hardened. The admiration dissolved. The smile became forced. The attention became minimal. She still said the right things. She still claimed everything was fine. She still acted polite, maybe even affectionate. But something in her eyes had already changed. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." He meant, what people show reveals more than what they say. When respect is present, it shows instantly. Her eyes search for yours. Her pupils expand. Her gaze softens when she sees you. She looks at you with a mixture of curiosity and admiration. But when respect fades, her eyes look through you, past you, around you, anywhere except into you. Here are the psychological shifts you likely noticed. She stopped giving you eye contact when you spoke. She listened, but didn't really hear. Her gaze moved away within seconds. She seemed distracted, even when sitting right next to you. She became physically present, but emotionally absent. This is not boredom. This is not stress. This is not just a phase. This is something much deeper. Her mind has already walked away from the version of you she respected. And most men miss this sign because it hurts too much to acknowledge. So they do what makes it even worse. They try to win her attention. They talk more. They explain themselves. They try to be more entertaining. They try to get the spark back. But here is the brutal truth. You cannot restore respect by seeking it. You restore respect by embodying it. When you chase her eyes, she looks away. When you stop chasing, she begins noticing. This is biological, psychological, and ancient. A man who holds eye contact calmly, without insecurity, without seeking approval, without fear of losing her, becomes a man who commands attention, not through force, not through manipulation, through presence. But when she stops giving you eye contact altogether, that is the emotional equivalent of her saying, "You no longer lead me. You no longer inspire me. You no longer challenge me. You no longer feel like a man I can trust to stand firm." This is the truth no one teaches men. Relationships don't end when she walks away. They end when her eyes stop recognizing you as the man she once admired. This was sign 3. The next sign is even more painful, because it's not about her eyes. It's about her voice when she speaks to others about you. A woman's true respect is never shown in how she treats you privately. It's shown in how she speaks about you publicly. And here is the 4th sign. a sign that every man feels but rarely admits. Her tone about you changed when you weren't in the room. At first, she spoke with admiration. She defended you. She bragged about you. She amplified your strengths. She believed in your potential. She introduced you with pride. But as respect faded, the way she spoke about you shifted quietly. Less admiration, less pride, less we, less warmth, less protection of your image. Suddenly her words began to carry something new. An edge, a distance, a subtle criticism hidden inside jokes, a softness replaced with indifference. This is one of the most brutal psychological signs a man can experience. She no longer protects your reputation. She no longer elevates your image. She no longer speaks of you with honor. And Machiavelli warned us about this exact dynamic. Men judge more by what is seen than by what is felt. In modern relationships, this means respect is revealed not in private affection, but in public acknowledgement. When a woman respects you, she wants others to respect you too. But when she loses respect, her words start quietly shaping a world where you are smaller, less capable, less impressive, less admirable, less masculine, less essential. And here's what most men miss. She doesn't start criticizing you directly. No, it starts with soft disconnections. She stops bragging about you. She stops defending you. She stops speaking proudly of your achievements. She stops including you in long-term stories. She stops associating your name with strength. And then slowly, it turns into, he's just stressed. He's too emotional lately. He means well, but you know how he is. Harmless phrases, said casually, delivered with a small laugh. But make no mistake, every small joke at your expense is a sign of collapsing respect. Most men react emotionally here. They get defensive, they get insecure, they confront her, they ask for explanations. This destroys things even faster, because the moment you try to correct how she speaks about you, you reveal exactly why she lost respect in the first place. You care more about her approval than your own standards. A man with self-respect doesn't chase reputation, he commands it. A man with strength doesn't ask to be spoken of with honor. He behaves in ways that make it obvious. The correct response to this sign is not emotional, it's strategic. You don't attack her, you don't explain yourself, you don't debate, you don't beg for a better narrative. You simply live by this rule. If you diminish me publicly, you lose me privately. Because the deeper truth is this: a woman who respects you will never allow others to see you as weak. A woman who loses respect stops protecting your name. And a woman who stops protecting your name has already withdrawn her loyalty long before she withdraws her presence. This was sign number 4. The next sign is colder, sharper, and even more revealing, because it has nothing to do with what she says, and everything to do with what she stops asking. Respect isn't loud. It isn't shown through compliments, affection, or dramatic declarations. Respect reveals itself in one simple behavior. She asks for your input, your thoughts, your guidance, your perspective, your leadership. When a woman respects a man, she naturally, instinctively, seeks his judgment. What do you think? Should I do this or that? What's your opinion? Can you help me understand this? What would you do in my place? Those questions aren't just questions. They are signals of trust and admiration. But when respect starts to fade, those questions disappear, quietly, naturally, without conflict. Suddenly she no longer needs your input. Suddenly she already knows. Suddenly she handled it herself. Suddenly she figured it out. It feels small. It seems innocent. But psychologically, it is monumental. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince who loses the respect of his people soon loses his power." In a relationship, the man plays the same role. If she no longer seeks your thinking, you no longer influence her direction. And when a woman stops letting a man influence her direction, one truth becomes unavoidable. Her respect for his leadership has collapsed. Here is the pattern that unfolds. She starts making decisions without consulting you. She stops asking for your advice. She becomes more secretive, not because of betrayal, but because she no longer values your input. She becomes irritated when you give opinions she never asked for. She begins trusting others more than she trusts you. This one hurts deeply because men don't notice it immediately. It creeps in. It slips through routine. It becomes normal, until one day you realize you're no longer the man she turns to. You're just the man she updates afterward. And here is the darkest part. When a woman stops respecting a man's mind, she soon stops respecting his role in her life. Because attraction pulls women towards strength, but respect keeps them there. The moment she no longer sees you as a source of clarity, she subconsciously starts positioning you as optional, replaceable, secondary, unnecessary, and most men make the fatal mistake. They try to prove their intelligence. They argue. They explain. They try to show they can lead. They try to win back authority. But leadership can never be begged. Respect can never be negotiated. Influence can never be requested. Machiavelli warned rulers explicitly, power is maintained not through demand, but through presence, meaning you do not regain respect by asking for it. You regain respect by embodying the man she once trusted. So what does a grounded man do? He doesn't chase influence. He doesn't force his opinions. He doesn't correct her decisions. He simply lives by this silent rule. If you no longer seek my voice, I will invest it elsewhere. The paradox? When a man stops pushing his opinion into a space where it's no longer valued, he becomes the man whose opinion becomes valuable again. This is sign 5. And the next sign cuts even deeper, because it reveals when she stops respecting your time. There is one form of disrespect that cuts deeper than silence, deeper than distance, deeper than coldness. She stops respecting your time. This is not about being late once. This is not about being busy. This is not about a stressful week. This is about a pattern, a shift so clear you can feel it in your chest. When a woman respects you, your time matters. She coordinates, she adjusts, she plans, she prioritizes, she shows consideration. But when respect fades, your time becomes an afterthought. She is suddenly late without apology, unpredictable with plans, vague with commitments, careless with scheduling, indifferent to inconveniencing you. And here's the dark truth. A woman who respects a man aligns her world with his. A woman who doesn't respect her own world first and expects him to adapt. Machiavelli wrote, "Men forget injuries, but never forget injustice. And nothing feels more unjust to a man than realizing his time is being treated as optional." Here is what this sign looks like in real life. She cancels plans casually. She forgets things you reminded her of. She delays shared decisions. She takes hours to confirm simple arrangements. She becomes spontaneous only when it benefits her. She gives you energy when she feels like it. She gives others priority without hesitation. This is not chaos. This is reprioritization, and the psychological meaning behind it is brutal. Your presence is no longer something she protects. It is something she consumes. A woman who respects you treats your time as valuable because your time is an extension of your identity. But when she begins treating your time loosely, what she's really signaling is this: I don't fear losing you. I don't see your time as rare. I don't think your schedule matters. I assume you'll always adjust. And most men do exactly that. They adjust, they wait, they reschedule, they tolerate, they try to be understanding. But here is the Machiavellian truth. Every time you tolerate disrespect to your time, you teach her that your life is less important than hers. And once that dynamic is established, respect collapses at the speed of habit, because a man who doesn't value his own time will never be valued by someone else. So what does a grounded man, a respected man, do? He doesn't punish her. He doesn't explode. He doesn't give emotional lectures. He simply adjusts one thing: his availability. He becomes harder to reach, the harder to book, harder to casually interrupt, harder to reschedule. He lives by a principle that all powerful men share. If you waste my time once, I notice. If you waste it twice, I leave. This is not cruelty. This is boundary. And the paradox: the moment you stop giving unlimited access to your time, you become the man whose time she respects again. This was sign number 6. And sign 7 is the one that hurts the most, because it reveals when she stopped respecting you not as a partner, but as a man. This is the sign every man fears, the sign that breaks men quietly, the sign that leaves a scar they feel for years. She stopped seeing you as a man she could look up to, not a man she could love, not a man she could like, not a man she could live with, a man she could respect. Because here's the darkest truth about relationships. A woman can love a man she does not trust, but she cannot respect a man she does not look up to. Love is optional. Respect is structural. Once it breaks, everything collapses. And here is how you knew this sign was happening. She stopped admiring your decisions. She stopped valuing your discipline. She stopped being impressed by your ambition. She stopped trusting your direction. She stopped feeling safe with your leadership. She stopped seeing you as a source of stability. She stopped positioning you above her emotionally. Instead, she began guiding you, correcting you, controlling you, directing you, lecturing you, testing you, belittling you in subtle ways. Not because she wanted power, but because she felt you could no longer hold it. And Machiavelli predicted this dynamic perfectly. A leader must command respect through strength. If he cannot, he must be replaced. In relationships, this translates painfully. If you stop leading yourself, she will stop following you. And here's what most men don't understand. Women don't lose respect because you lose money, or have a bad month, or face setbacks, or go through stress. Women lose respect when you lose direction, when you stop acting with purpose, when you stop enforcing standards, when you stop moving forward, when you start waiting instead of deciding, when you start reacting instead of leading, when you start negotiating your worth. A woman never respects a man who breaks his own rules, tolerates mistreatment, gives more than he receives, abandons his mission, gives up his center, becomes emotionally dependent, because deep down, biologically, psychologically, evolutionarily, she cannot admire a man who does not admire himself. And when this final shift happens, you feel it everywhere. Her tone changes, her eyes change, her energy changes, her communication changes, her expectations change. She doesn't dream with you anymore. She doesn't plan with you anymore. She doesn't soften around you anymore. Because the emotional hierarchy flipped, she now sees herself above you. And that is the death of respect. Men try everything to fix this point. More affection, more reassurance, more promises, more effort, more emotional explanations, more pleading, more patience. But all of it backfires, because Machiavelli warned, the more you seek the favor of others, the less they value yours. Respect is not revived through effort. Respect is revived through evolution. And here is the cold truth. The only way to regain her respect is to become a man who no longer needs it. Not through anger, not through manipulation, not through distance, through becoming stronger, more disciplined, more grounded, more self-directed, more mission-focused than you were when she first met you. That version of you she once admired, you must surpass him, not to win her back, but to reclaim yourself. Because the reality is simple. When a woman stops looking up to you, the only direction left for you is up. Here is the truth no man wants to face. She didn't lose respect because she became someone else. She lost respect because you stopped being the man she once admired. Respect is not permanent. Respect is not guaranteed. Respect is not owed. Respect is rented. And the rent is due every single day. Machiavelli wrote, "A man who becomes weak invites his own downfall." You didn't notice it at first. Your standards lowered. Your discipline slipped. Your patience turned into passivity. Your empathy turned into self-betrayal. Your love turned into dependence. Your ambition turned into excuses. Your boundaries turned into apologies. Your presence turned into background noise. And slowly, quietly, inevitably, her respect followed your decline. The 7 signs weren't the cause. They were the symptom, the real cause. You stopped leading your life. You started reacting to hers. But here is the dark, liberating truth. Respect lost is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your evolution. Because the man who has been disrespected, broken, ignored, undervalued, is the man with the most potential to rise. Pain refines men. Silence hardens men. Rejection sharpens men. Disrespect awakens men. And Machiavelli knew this. It is better to act and repent than not to act and regret. So act. Build the man you were meant to be. The man you abandoned. The man who lives with purpose. The man who commands respect effortlessly. The man who does not beg for approval. The man who chooses himself. The man who walks forward while others stay frozen. You cannot force her to respect you, but you can force your future to stand up, rebuild, rise, become the man no woman can overlook, become the man no world can ignore, become dangerous,